This is really difficult to admit, but I need some advice and perspective because I've made some terrible choices that are probably going to ruin my life. I'm a 25 female engaged to my fiance, 28 male, and we've been together for 3 years. He recently proposed, and I want to build a future with him. But my past actions and the consequences of them are threatening to destroy everything. I've been struggling with depression for a while, which has affected many areas of my life, including my relationship with my fiance. My depression makes it hard for me to enjoy or even want intimacy. My fiance, while a kind and caring partner in many ways, doesn't know how to connect with me sexually in the same way that my ex did. This isn't his fault, he tries, but there's always been a part of me comparing him to my ex. 2 years ago, during a low point in my relationship and mental health, I reached out to my ex. I knew it was wrong, but I missed the way he made me feel, wanted, excited, alive. We met up and we ended up having sex. The guilt afterwards was unbearable, so I told myself I wouldn't see him again. But I didn't cut contact completely. Over the past 2 years, my ex and I have sexted on and off. Sometimes the conversations have been explicitly about cheating, almost like we were toying with the idea. Last year, we met up a second time and had sex again. I felt just as guilty, but I convinced myself it wouldn't happen again. Also, it was a time during which I was questioning my relationship with my fiance, then boyfriend, so I didn't feel as guilty as I probably should have done. Then a month ago, it did. I reached out to him again, and we met up for a third time. Shortly after, my fiance proposed. I was overwhelmed with love for him and a desire to truly commit. I decided that I wanted to leave my past mistakes behind and move forward with my fiance. But my ex won't let me go. He started dropping hints about what we've done, and every time I refuse to send him a nude or do something else, he reminds me of how I betrayed my fiance. He's called me selfish and an asshole for keeping this from my fiance, saying my fiance deserves better. And while I know he's right in some ways, I feel trapped. I'm terrified that if I don't keep up with things on my end, he'll tell my fiance about everything. I want to be with my fiance, but I'm scared. Scared of losing him, scared of what my ex might do, and scared of what kind of person I've become. I've thought about coming clean, but I don't want to destroy my fiance's trust in me or him to get a bad impression about me because of something I've done just 3 times. I know it sounds horrible when put that way, but I'm more than the 3 mistakes I made. I want to be a better person, but I don't know where to start or if it's even possible. What should I do about my ex situation? I'd appreciate any advice. Thank you for taking the time to read this. Update 1, I've made progress. Over the last month, I've made significant changes. 2 weeks ago, my ex finally stopped contacting me. I've blocked him everywhere, on my phone, social media, and even email, so I think he realized I was serious about cutting him off. The silence has been a relief, but also a wake-up call. With him out of the picture, I've finally had time to confront the damage I've done and take responsibility for it. I realized that if I wanted to move forward with my fiance and have a future together, I needed to be proactive about making changes. I need this. I need this life with him more than anything else I've ever wanted. I've deleted the contacts of all my exes and other men who I've maintained occasional sexual relationships from my phone and removed them from social media. It felt like a clean slate, and I'm proud of myself for finally having the courage to achieve this. I've also started seeing a therapist. This was a big step for me because I'd been putting off getting help for my depression for years. My therapist has been helping me unpack not only the guilt and shame I feel about cheating, but also some of the deeper issues that could have led me to make those choices in the first place. She agrees with me that me using validation from others as a crutch during difficult times does not make me a disagreeable partner. Everyone has unhealthy coping mechanisms, and this is mine, sadly. It's been hard work, but I already feel like I'm starting to understand myself better, which is giving me hope for real change. In my relationship, I've been doing everything I can to be more present and attentive. I realize that for all my fiance gives me, I wasn't giving him the love and support he deserves. I've been more intentional about spending quality time together, listening to him, and showing him how much he means to me. I've also taken the initiative to improve our intimacy. opening up conversations about our needs, and making an effort to reconnect emotionally and physically. Despite everything happened, I truly believe we have a strong foundation. He's fulfilling in so many ways. We share the same values, life goals, and passions. We love each other deeply, and I'm holding on to that as I work to rebuild the trust I've broken, even if he doesn't know anything about it, and won't either. Wink. I know this journey is far from over. Some days the guilt hits me hard, and I wonder if I even deserve a second chance. But for now, I'm hopeful. I'm trying to focus on being the best fiancé there is, and want to be the cutest bride for him. Thank you again for your advice and support. I really loved all the support I got here. Final update. About a week ago, my fiancé found out everything. I don't know what tipped him off, but he figured it out on his own and confronted me. I confessed to my fiancé, now ex-fiancé, about texting another guy early in our relationship, something that happened before we were serious, and reassured him there was nothing else he needed to know. I didn't let him know about any of the other men. It turns out he had suspicions, maybe a gut feeling, and he reached out to my ex. I don't know exactly what they talked about, but I doubt my ex spared anything in my favor considering the way I blew him off. When my fiancé confronted me for the second time, it was brutal. He told me he reached out because he believed I'd never tell him the truth otherwise. You would have just bullshitted me and left me in the dark, he said. What's surprising is that I knew he was right. I had robbed him of the chance to make an informed decision about us. As I write this, I'm fully aware of how foolish I sound for still having any hopes. After the confrontation, something in him shifted completely. He no longer hides how angry he is. He never showed any vulnerability after my confession or tried seeking to repair the relationship. Instead, he's openly bringing other women into our apartment and having loud sex in the guest room. I spend my days sobbing, thinking of the state of our relationship. Where did this monster come from? I feel trapped. He wants me out of the house, but I have nowhere else to go. So I've been staying despite how much it's tearing me apart. He no longer cares about my mental health, which has spiraled since this all began. The confidence I'd started to rebuild is gone. I feel crushed by the weight of what I've done and the way he's chosen to respond. I can't wrap my head around how quickly things fell apart or how much it has changed him and me. I don't even recognize our relationship anymore. I don't feel like I deserve better, but I know this can't be my life. Please, girls, learn from my mistakes. Secrets and lies will eat away at any relationship, and when the truth finally comes out, it might destroy everything you've tried to build. I don't know what my next steps are, but I know I need to find a way out of this situation, for my sanity, for my future, for myself. Take care and be kind to yourselves. Story 2, and now I feel like I'm made of lead. Okay, a little backstory. D-Day 1 was in September 2021, and D-Day 2 in November 2021. I spent the remaining of that year stuck with my head in my own ass, trying desperately to at least give my children a decent Christmas. It was my way of keeping myself busy, so I did not have to deal with what I had done. My New Year's resolution was that I was going to fight. Fight for my marriage, get all the help I could get, and become a better person. I was finally out of the affair fog and knew what I wanted to do. Fast forward to today, I have been making great progress with the help of my BS, IC, MC, and my peers at CODA, Codependence Anonymous. My BS and I are communicating like never before, and I love it. I have been feeling full of energy and am happy with the woman I am becoming. I am not saying that every day is roses and champagne for me and my BS. Some days are hard, others even harder, and then there are good ones. But this morning I woke up and I could not move. My body was heavy, like I was made of lead. And all day I have been in this state of not having any energy at all. Can't even gather a whole thought in my head. I called in sick from work and told my BS how I was feeling. He has been supporting, and we have been talking about why this has happened. Have any of you had this happen to you? What did you do, and do you know what brought it up? I am started to worry that I have literally hit a wall and am heading for burnout. I might have gone too fast into all my self-work along with my actual job, which is quite difficult mentally. I just don't want to be a burden on my BS, and now I am scared that there is something wrong with me. Sorry for the rant, Maybe I will wake up tomorrow with more energy than a kid on a sugar rush. It sounds like you've been pushing yourself so hard to make things right that your body's now forcing you to slow down. Healing, whether personal or within a relationship, takes a massive amount of emotional and mental energy, and it sounds like you've been running full speed ahead without giving yourself much space to just be. This kind of exhaustion isn't uncommon, especially when you've been carrying so much emotional weight for so long. It's like your system just hit a limit and said, okay, we need a break now. Burnout can come from anything: self-work, work, emotional labor, all of it. It doesn't mean you're failing or backsliding. It just means you're human. Try to be gentle with yourself. It's okay to rest. It's okay to not have the energy to push today. Let your BS support you, just like you've been working to support them. Healing isn't just about action. It's also about giving yourself space to recover from everything you've been unpacking. You're not a burden. You're doing the work, and sometimes part of that work is learning when to pause and take care of yourself too.